So there, you're going to get a very weird Cloverfield-like VPR today point of view video, but I am taking Mr. Gus on a mini walk. We are going out to the front. So I just wanted to show you all of the steps that are needed. As you can see, he is now wearing his new harness, the Freedom No Pull harness. It works tremendously with him, and it fits him like a glove, which we love. So again, thank you so much for going ahead and getting those. But as we've mentioned before, the walk starts by cultivating calmness. So I have him, we're stationed in our kennel for right now. This is also to get his brother out of the way. Doing them one at a time. You should not be trying to train 2 dogs at once for leash walking when they don't even have their own foundational skills. So that is why they are working apart from each other today. But yeah, gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going ahead and grabbing him out. Thanks, sir. Okay, he's already harnessed up, leashed up. You don't have to see that process necessarily. However, I do like to ask dogs to sit and remain calm while I'm putting on their gear, so long as they don't have any resistance towards the gear, which Gus did not. Yes, good boy. I will try my best to keep him on camera. He does typically walk on the left side, so that is how the camera is angled so that you can see him mostly. So we don't like pulling. You'll notice that during this walk, I'm really not going to be saying a whole lot, and that is because I want him to figure out this walking process on his own. Now, if I need to say leave it, I will, in terms of if he's pulling towards something he cannot have, or the pulling is a bit excessive, that okay, it's like, okay, I really need you to leave that alone. But honestly, pulling means I don't go anywhere. And eye contact and sitting at my side lets me know that he is engaged and he is ready to proceed with his walk. So that's really what I'm looking for. I am looking for increased engagement. He's a little bit distracted. Yes, good job. Nothing a little reinforcement can't take care of. He is ready to go forward. Yes, and I got him on my side now. So we're gonna go ahead and start moving forward. Looking for check-ins, wait. And he's pulling up ahead, so we're gonna go ahead and bring this way. Wait. Okay. Wait can be used at every threshold, including highly distracting ones, such as going out the front door. Purely for safety. Let's go. Good job. Good job, Gustav. Good job. Again, I'm gonna try and angle this camera so that you can see him as best as possible. And again, so sorry if this video is a bit shaky. I felt like you're watching, you know, one of those point of view movies with aliens or Blair Witch Project. Yes, good job. All right, gonna go ahead and start moving forward. So if there's one thing that you should know about dog walking is that if the dog's already starting to pull you forward, you can probably bet that's gonna be the theme of your entire walk. So we like to make sure that it really does start on the front porch step. Wait. My weights also extend with narrow passageways and steps. Reason being is that your dogs are big and nobody needs to be pulled down the steps ever. We understand that they're excited. We want them to enjoy their walk, but we also want you to enjoy their walk. And so if they want to go on their walk, they're just going to have to listen to the rules. Hey, Gus. Okay, wait. Good boy. Let's go. Yes, good job. Wait. Yes, let's go. Very good. And a wait doesn't have to be dramatic. You know, he doesn't have to wait for 30 seconds or anything, but I do need to make sure that that engagement is on me before we continue this walk. So a little bit of pulling here. Yes, this is a new leash and a new harness, which I'm actually going to fix it. It's a little bit caught underneath his arm. I'm going to go ahead and fix that for him because I don't want him to be uncomfortable. Hey, yes, guys, he's sick. Thank you. He's getting a little tired. That's okay. Hi, buddy. We're just going to fix this real quick. Okay, there we go. So I do love these two-point connection system. Whenever you have a large dog, you know, you really do want as much control as possible, but we do not by any means want to inflict any harm. You know, we want the walk to be enjoyable for both parties. Yes, good job. Now we would go in that direction, but it looks like there's quite literally a chicken crossing the road. I don't think you can see him. So we're gonna go this way instead. For the sake of the first time doing this, I wanna make sure that we keep this as low distracting as possible. And I am mostly focusing on that anti-pulling. So when he is pulling, I'm not gonna go anywhere. But when he engages with me, checks in with me, yes, there we go. Edits himself so that he is closer to me so that the walk can proceed. And that is what I will do. We'll continue to walk. Essentially, Gus can be in control of his own walk so long as he's not hauling me anywhere. Now, I will say that Gus is a pretty good walker for his first time. He's extremely food motivated, which is fantastic. However, when we cross the street in just a moment, you will notice that there might be a little bit more leaning into the things he wants to smell, and that's where I kind of have to bend my knees and wait him out and see, will he re-engage with me? If he does not, then I know that I need to up my treat value. So when I cross the street, you'll notice that I will be rewarding him with cheese just to increase that engagement and to make sure that he learns it in the first place. Yes, so I just stopped there and he instantly just turned around to re-engage with me. There's some cars right here. Gus, you leave it? Yes, good boy, good job. Good job. So he was a little distracted. We have some cars that are driving slowly. He was like, what's your deal, bro? Why you rolling up? And that's all right. So that was something that warranted a leave it, because I noticed that his ears kind of perked forward. Wasn't entirely sure what his mental state was like. I didn't know if that made him uncomfortable. Either way, I don't want him to make the decision to start barking or having a reactive moment. All right, he has seen the chicken. There was a chicken quite literally crossing the road. This is most definitely a distance leave it, and I'm definitely going to need to reward that with extremely high value. So as you can see, his tail's wagging. He's if we're given the opportunity, you would absolutely chase that chicken. We're gonna make sure that he cannot do that. Gus, leave it. Wow, good boy, good job, good job. Now this is why we like to work at things at such a far distance, because if I was super close to that chicken, he probably would have been really frustrated and not willing to give me a successful leave it. And in order for a dog to learn anything, they have to be able to complete it successfully. Let's go. Very good. Good job, Gus. You're doing so good. And unfortunately, because of the glare of the sun, I cannot see my screen very well, so I'm hoping that you can see him okay. Good boy. Good job. Other key notes when you're walking your dog. Your leash is the length of which they should be away from you. So if they are pulling, don't follow them with your arm. If the leash is 4 feet or 6 feet, let it be 4 feet and 6 feet. If your dog is pulling, don't follow them and give them 2 extra feet of your arm. The only thing that's going to do is make it really uncomfortable for you, and it's going to give your dog a whole lot of leverage. I am a very petite person, so it's very important that I hold my leash to my core. You'll always notice that I have the leash. Good boy, nice stop and sit. Wow, that's fantastic. You'll notice that I will always hold the leash very close to my center, because a dog like Gus could easily take me down. So it's really important that you yourself are practicing holding your equipment and the leashes where they should be. This is the farthest point that we have been on this side. So he's pulling heavily. You'll notice here, okay, there's a bit too much pulling. He did have to pee, but he came back to me. Yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him a reward. Anytime he really leans into it, do not follow him. So a little bit of there, but checking back in with me, giving him a reward. It's a little bit of a pressure return exercise. So if there's pressure, I do not move, but if he returns, the walk can continue. The other thing that is happening is we are also working on some default sitting, meaning that anytime I stop, I am asking him to sit, but just with my body. I'm really not telling him to sit. I just want to see, will you offer me a sit so that the walk will continue? So testing that out right now. Yes, very good. And literally all I'm doing is stepping. Now I do kind of cue this just a little bit. I tend to drag one of my feet whenever I stop. So giving kind of an audible cue to the dog that the handler has just stopped. So I'm not sure if you can hear that in the camera, but I'm going to do it again. Yes, good boy. Good job. Good job. It is mostly just a habit of mine. I do find that the dogs pick up on that. It is your choice if you choose to use it. However, kind of a rule of thumb is if you are stopping, you notice your dog is just starting to pull in opposite directions everywhere, you really want to reinforce them sitting when you stop, because it's really just for safety. Your dog should not be hauling you or wrapping the leash around you. That can get pretty dangerous pretty fast. Doing one more default sit. Yes, and you'll notice there that he did pull just a little bit, but he instantly came back and he sat. I'm gonna go ahead and cross the street for just a minute, just to see what that energy is like. I do like my dogs to sit before I cross, again, purely for safety reasons, so that I can look both ways. And then I will very clearly say, let's go. Always cue your dog when you are moving. Let them know that you are moving. Some people are too quiet during walks. They're not really telling the dog what's going on. Yes. Good job. Very good, Gus. You may notice on this side of the street, we may pull into some patches of grass. I'm not going to follow him. I'm just going to hold that leash to my core. Yes. Good job. Very good. Good boy. And if he looks at me, sits down, engages with me, walks next to me, he's really maintaining, I would say, 20 steps without pulling. That warrants a reward in my eyes. Heavy pulling right here. I'm not going to follow him. I could say leave it, but I do want to see, will he decide to make a better decision. If he continues to pull, then I will use the cue. But these are opportunities to see, will he figure it out, or do I actually need to use my leave it cue? Remember that leave it's really not that fun. So we want to make sure that you are reserving it for moments you really need it. So he's kind of checked out. He has not checked in with me, so I am going to use that behavior. Gus, Gus, leave it. Yes, good job. Good job. Wow, good job. Good, okay, good job. And anytime your dog starts to have a hard time, it may seem counterintuitive to give them more rewards, but that's actually in fact what you should be doing. When they're having a hard time, meaning that they have kind of checked out or they've gotten heavily distracted, you should most definitely give them a reason to be listening to you instead. So again, heavy pulling, leash to my core. I'm not going to move into that. He's not going to go anywhere. This is literally teaching him pulling gets you nowhere, buddy. But if you check in with me, I might let you sniff that plant. Okay, thank you, Gus Gus. Thank you. Okay, let's sniff. Let's sniff. There we go. Okay, see what happens? You can smell things if you don't pull. Sniffing is also a form of reinforcement. This is just the first time us doing this, so I will address that at a later date. But I do think putting let's sniff on cue will help you out with some of that intense pulling. You know, I want to smell this thing. Be like, okay, well, I want you to smell this thing, but I don't want you to drag me there. Okay, Gus, Gus, let's go. Come on, Gus, Gus. Let's go, Gus, Gus. Good job. Okay, we're gonna cross the street because we are tired. A little bit of checking out. Again, I like to see will he sit before we cross the road. Hey, come here. There's not much of a sidewalk to work with here. Hey, Gus, Gus. Thank you. All right, let's go, buddy. And we are headed back home. Hope all of this makes sense. He did fantastic today. Always a pleasure to work with, and we are looking forward to increasing the distance for this walk and, of course, incorporating AJ when he is ready. As usual, let us know if you have any questions, but we will see you later. Bye.